Hi guys, today we'll be learning about Melanau.
Okay!
The Melanaus reside in Sarawak and they have traditional education instead of formal education. They teach basic skills such as farming, hunting, handicraft, and more. They speak their own Melanau language, which is similar to the Malay language. The children in Melanau follow Islamic education. Most of the children study in religious schools. During the Brooks administration, the education system in Sarawak was managed by three groups: Chinese missionaries, the Brooks government, and also the Christian missionaries.
Today, there is one Chinese school in Maka area, which is SJKC in Kahua. It is not just for Chinese students to enter, but also have a Melanau student. Because some of the parents want to be able to speak and write some Chinese, there are currently more than 18 children to study in this school, and then 15% of Melanau people. The Melanau people consider education as a priority, and then so some of the involved in practice, business, and the popular life.
Regarding social organization, there is a hierarchy, which reflects one person's position in Malanayu society. Malanayu has its own custom where is the king likely to be focused. The first ranked person is the most respectable person. Formerly, the village was governed by a group of people called aristocrats. It is known as Anya.
Before the reign of Sultanate Brunei, each group was divided into several classes. They are 9 pikul, 5 pikul, 7 pikul, and Dipen. The position is granted based on their individual strengths. After the rule of Brunei Sultanate, another class was made, which is called Pangeran. There was no resistance from the local after the title was introduced, as they upheld the loyalty and obedience of the leader. However, only Muslims Melanau are entitled to be granted. The position in social organization plays a big impact in their tradition relating to marriage and death.
Other than that, since only people in Melanau is authorized to have own sago garden, only those with sago garden now have any parts of the production of the sago. mortgage before they become nature. A large part of male population is forced to leave the villages as migrant laborers in the lumber industry. On the other hand, women are no longer economically independent.
The Malanao people was originally fishermen, paddy planter, and sago farmer. Hunting and gathering combined with the cultivation of sago garden, which were economic activities, and the export of the sago biscuit and forest products such as gum.
In exchange for metal goods, weapons, and clothes, is traditional from the Malanao economy. The Malanao people are well known for the bows, and the skill was for building these quality crafts. The trades among the Malanao people, such as northeastern monsoon access to the river, was limited as the fishing was very dangerous. So those like sago fruit, biscuits, fruits, clothes, and timbers are used to exchange for dried fish, salt, and nipa palm sugar.
Traditionally, sago biscuit was exported under the auspices of aristocratic leaders from both inland and coastal villages and of Malay traders from Brunei and elsewhere. With the foundation of Singapore in 1819 and the demand from the European and American cotton industry for cheap industrial starch, the nature of the sago export trade altered. After the conquest of the coastal district by the Raja of Sarawak in 1861, Malanao and Malay carriers and traders were replaced by Chinese immigrants, who also entered into the production of flour to the extent that they were allowed. The government, however, did not permit the sale of land to immigrants. The primary production of flour remained in the hands of Malanao villagers until after World War II, when all production was mechanized and only the gardens remained in Malanao ownership.
Okay, so this is all from me today. Class is dismissed.
Thank you, Miss.